Do we know who's doing the halftime show?
Rihanna?
Yes. I like it. I'm ready for these forehead close-ups.
Are you
That's a lot of forehead.
First real question we gotta ask is, are you a rude boy, Dylan?
Boy,
Is it just her, or
I'm
is it
glad
her
you
or
guys know
someone
the
else?
words to that song. Greetings,
Earthlings.
What?
He said Earthlings.
Oh,
Jerry's an alien.
He knew that. He
My name
knew.
is Z-Blor.
Xenon Zoob.
greetings, Z-blors. Welcome to the Joystick Show. Don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but it's probably of alien origin.
Yeah.
Much like this show.
Correct.
Definitely.
Speaking of this show, you're watching it.
Yeah.
And it'd be cool if you could like it, if you could subscribe to the boys who make it, which is us, who go by the name Team Joystick.
Correct.
Which, you know, I'm totally a human person, so I know all of this because I'm a human person.
I know what love feels like.
Yeah, and I didn't abduct a human named Bobby Rosario and take his place amongst his friend group. Ha 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 ha.
We've just been aliens the whole time.
I'm
Sorry.
mad. That'd be like what if we actually we got to episode, I don't know, 250 of the Joystick Show, and we reveal there's a twist the whole time. You know what I mean? Like we take the TV down and there's been a fifth person there the entire time.
The table is actually not a table. It's like
What a way to
bunch
add
of...
It's
a
CGI
person.
or something.
We should actually have like a Shyamalan month, you know,
Yeah.
where we just
Yeah.
at the end of the episode we're just like, well, actually, this is actually just a.
This never was a show.
Damn, I could segue it into something really fast. Can I? I'm just gonna
Do it.
I'm gonna take the opportunity to do it.
Just-
All right. So I'm gonna spoil something. all
Okay.
right? So spoiler alert for people who want to check out M. Night Shyamalan's newest movie, Knock at the Cabin. Okay. I was telling my students this past week at my job, you know, teaching them filmmaking and famous directors and whatnot. I was teaching them about M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes.
And I told them that
Classic.
M. Night Shyamalan is very well known for adding these ridiculous twist endings to the end of his movies that make you go, what the fuck? And usually they're not very good, but sometimes they are, and they pay off, you know?
Yeah.
But it's become a bit of his trait, one of his bigger traits lately, and I was very curious when the trailers for Knock at the Cabin started coming out with Dave Bautista and Rupert Grint, a.k.a. Ron fucking Weasley from the Harry Potter movies. But I was just really curious what the twist ending of that movie was going to be, right? So basically, you know, if anybody who saw the trailer, the whole gist is that there's an apocalypse and the world is going to end.
Seen that before.
And there's a gay family. It's like two husbands and their Asian adopted daughter.
Seen this before.
And they have to force these four people show up. It's Dave Bautista and three other people. And they're like, one of you has to sacrifice your lives. To
You
end
sure
the
this isn't a
apocalypse.
Modern Family episode?
No, I'm afraid not. This is a.
I'd be like, damn, they got Dave Bautista on Modern Family.
But so that's the premise of the movie. So I was like, you know, where the fuck is the twist ending? You want to know what the twist ending is?
It's a dream?
There's no fucking twist ending. That's legit. There's no twist. Those are the stakes. It's actually fucking insane. Yeah, there's like a legit apocalypse, and everybody's talking about it because they're like, it's kind of nuts that the twist of the movie is that Shyamalan didn't put a twist in the movie.
That was the
He
twist.
fucking fooled everybody with the
So
most
it-
meta
He's
movie.
getting good at this.
So in that, is that the biggest twist? Like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
he
Is that
really-
his best twist.
He actually retires. So he's like, I fucking executed it.
Yeah,
His best
perfectly.
twist is
Made
no
all those
twist.
movies.
Mm.
Yeah, but I thought that was pretty fucking interesting.
I think next time you should go for the twist beginning.
How would that even work out?
The twist beginning.
I guess it would be like a twist ending that changes how the beginning was perceived. I guess you could do.
No, I would imagine you're following what you think is the hero, and then the hero gets killed, and the person that killed him is the actual hero.
Yeah.
But
That's the twist.
that'd be a twist middle though. That wouldn't be.
No, right in the beginning, we see this person sneaking around. Here's the movie setup. Ready, Bobby? Setup. Lights, camera, action. There's a guy running around an event, and he sees the person. His name's even Dr. Evil or something.
Do I have to do this?
No.
I was
You're
like, how's
already
Bobby gonna
animating.
film this? The fuck?
Film it and then put it on. His name Dr. Evil or something, and then Dr. Evil hears him in the vent and shoots a bunch of bullets in the vent. His name is just so happens to be Dr. Evil. He's actually a really good guy, one of the best agents for the CIA. That's just his name.
Yo, fucking write that down, Bobby. Write that down.
Do it, Bobby. Let's film it right now.
I mean, that's kind of like nobody. It's
yeah,
like
but
this
his name
schmuck.
is Dr. Evil. That's kind of like a thing.
No, he's a good guy.
Fucking Joe.
His name would have to be original. His name would have to be cantankerous
Yeah. Rex.
villain.
Villain.
The villain.
Yeah, Joey's like, all right, so we make a movie. There's a basketball player, right? World renowned. His is Michael Jordan. Never happened before. Doesn't, but he's actually
I'm just
not.
saying Dr. Evil as in like a regular.
He's actually
name I
just a
thought.
volleyball player.
I'm dead.
Like Will
Yeah,
Chamberlain.
not a callback.
Fucking
Fucking up.
just to segue this again to another movie that I saw.
Okay.
Real, I just been in like
Yo,
I'll
you
get
watch a
into
lot of
this-
movies?
Yeah, you know.
It's like
yeah,
his thing or something.
I'll get into it in a second, but I've been away from like video games and stuff for a bit because I've just been like spending a lot of time with family. But in between the cracks, you know, I've just been like throwing on Netflix and just watching whatever's on.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever reason, don't know why, I decided to watch 21 Jump Street again.
Oh, great movie.
The
Nice.
movie is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. On like, I think it's probably like my third or fourth time rewatching it. I caught so much new shit that I like missed the other times. Whether they were like jokes that didn't make me laugh before, or like legit. I don't know if it's fair to call them Easter eggs, but like little like shit that they threw in there that makes me go, oh snap, that's actually kind of crazy. So,
Well, I know
like,
they added a lot of like callbacks to the original 21 Jump Street.
Yeah. I
in
mean,
both
honestly,
movies.
that's what the entire movie is
Yeah.
about. It's about how reboots are awful and they never work out. So they
And-
reboot an old police
And
program.
then the sequel was like a joke on sequels.
Yeah,
and they even
exactly.
ended with a whole
All
like
the
5
sequel,
minute of
yeah,
all of the other sequels.
exactly.
So
those movies are super tongue in cheek
and tasteful, yeah.
Who was
then
in the original?
in the show.
In 21 Jump Street.
So it was a TV show.
Oh, okay.
And the only really like notable person that came from it was Johnny Depp, which is why he makes
He was like mad young.
and he makes a cameo in the movie at the end of the
Oh,
movie. He's
I don't
one of
remember
the-
that. Maybe I have to rewatch it.
At the end, remember when like they have like the big like gun standoff in the hotel room, and then like two of the biker thugs take off all their prosthetics and makeup, and they're like, we were like 5 years undercover, and you blew us or whatever. One of them was Johnny Depp,
Oh.
yeah. But fucking, I just like one of the things I wanted to point out was when Nick Offerman's part at the beginning of the movie when he's like sending Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum's character to Ice Cube. He's basically like goes on this whole like minute-long rant where he's like, the police has rebooted this program because everybody knows that reboots are exactly what people need, but he does it like so perfectly. And then at the end, he's like, you guys are being relocated to a new office off of Jump Street, 37 Jump Street. And he's like, that doesn't sound right. And then it just cuts right there. It's perfect.
Amazing.
And then the other one that I really liked was that, you know, the part of the movie where fucking Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum have like that fight on stage during the Peter Pan play that like Jonah's on the wires jumping around or whatever. At the end of it, it's like supposed to be that part in the movie where they're like officially like at the part where they're like, nah, I'm done with you, and they blow the operation and shit. And Chris Parnell's character, who plays the theater teacher / director, he runs out and he's like, and that's the end of Act 2, and the curtains close, and it's like legit the end of Act 2 of the movie. I was like, oh fuck.
Wow.
It's like even a perfect hour into the fucking
And that's
movie with
the
30
end of
minutes
Act
left.
2.
Yeah, I was like, ah, shit, that's kind of fucking sick.
You think they did that on purpose?
They did.
Yeah, of
absolutely.
course.
Okay.
Yeah, there's another thing like that. Similarly, it's escaping me right now, but I literally watched like a month ago about a movie that does that exact same thing. Like when Act 3 or something of the movie starts, there's something that like
Scream does
shows it. Probably, yeah.
Scream does it. I think in Scream 2 or 3, they're like, now we're here at Act 3, where the person, and they're actually talk about how the movie is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm watching some flicks.
Yeah, love some movies.
Love.
I was watching this shit, a movie that I believe I've talked about on the podcast before, but that is the Zucker film Top Secret. Oh, yeah. Which I feel like I don't know what streaming service it is because it's from the 80s.
I've been saying we need to watch this movie.
So I remember I put on like a 4-minute compilation of all the jokes in the movie, but I swear to God, this movie has, I want to say, 1,000 punchlines in it. I know I shouldn't be reviewing a movie from the 1980s, but fuck it.
Spoilers, Dylan.
Yeah, spoilers. No, but it's essentially, I wouldn't know. I would call it like a spy film mixed with like more like espionage, like detective stuff.
Okay.
But it's also like a music flick.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a musical. So The Spy is actually like an Elvis type thing where they even have a song in the beginning which is called Skeet Shootin', which is like a Beach Boys style song, but everyone has like skeet guns and they're just shooting each other at the beach. What a fucking great movie. I mean, they're like the amount of like laughs or like grunts.
Yeah.
I like sound effects leaving my body. of just like how ridiculous the movie is. Even like the amount of like visual gags. I feel like I haven't seen a visual gag in a movie since like
hell
the
yeah.
80s.
That's like a big problem. With
I
comedy.
feel like there's just so much of just like, you know, like there's one, I think one of the most notable scenes in the movie where there's like a phone in like the foreground. And he goes to like,
He
it
walks
looks
up to
giant,
the
and he
phone.
walks up to it, and it's a giant fucking phone. And he's like, hello?
It's his fucking face. I think one of my personal favorites is when they like knock on the door and it's one of those slip things that opens and it's like the guy's eyes and he's like, okay, and he closes and then when he opens, the guy's like 3 feet tall and he's like, there's like it happens so fast, but there's a whole. Yeah, the whole movie is just shit like that. At the end, there's like a part where like the woman is about to get on a plane and she's like, "I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you too, and I think I'm gonna miss you, Scarecrow." I'm like, how he comes out of nowhere, it's just there.
It's like a Family Guy.
It is. That's exactly what it is. But there's a whole like 5-minute scene. It's a shootout scene where like a bunch of characters are like bunkered up in a bunker, and then like a bunch of people are shooting in their like house. But the whole scene is littered with fucking dumb jokes. And one of my favorites is the main character. I think is played by Val Kilmer.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
yeah,
crouched
yeah.
down behind a window with like panels on it. So he comes up and he breaks one of the windows and starts shooting through it. And they start shooting again, and he ducks down, and the camera follows him. When he goes back up, one of the panels has an X broken into it in the glass. So he breaks another one. He starts playing tic-tac-toe at the fucking show. And even when he breaks it, he's like, yeah. It's like so fucking dumb. Dude.
There's also this, they've also made other movies. They had one movie called Kentucky Fried Movie, which I would compare it to like the Onion movie. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's just like a bunch of sketch comedies just thrown into a single movie.
Yeah.
And some of them are interlaced, some of them have nothing to do with
Like
each
movie
other.
43.
Yeah, literally that. But it was like a old version of that. And I feel like Top Secret is like their like magnum opus almost.
yeah.
Like a lot of people will say Airplane's the
No,
best
no,
because
no.
Airplane is funny and like there's a lot of jokes like the little girl like, oh, I like my coffee like my
Yeah.
men black.
But the difference is
It's
like Airplane, you can watch it and you could still kind of be like, that was a well put together movie. Not Top Secret.
No, it's
Top
not-
Secret
no.
is literally like, okay, we have a scene. How can we fill it with 60 jokes? in a row? Like,
And they have their most common like trait, which I've noticed, is not only like the physical humor, lowbrow humor, stuff like that. There's just this idea of like when you have dialogue that's not important, jokes everywhere.
Yeah,
Background, people over here, people over
in the
there.
background, just
Yeah.
like serving
No
himself
joke,
ice
yeah.
cream.
No,
Literally.
literally, like the amount of background gags is astounding too. Like there's
we can make a movie.
There's
like
a
that.
part. There's a part where like they shoot a soldier who's like sitting on top of like a castle or something. And he's like, oh, and he like falls off. When he hits the ground, he's like made out of ceramic.
He's
just,
porcelain,
like,
yeah.
He just breaks.
Boom.
But the cut is so good that you think it's actually like at least a dummy or something. But then when he falls, he shatters, and you're like, what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
it throws you off.
The amount of times where they just like throw you off, where it's like I don't even know if that's like misdirection is comedy, but even then sometimes it doesn't even make you laugh. You're just kind of like,
You're just kind of confused.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre
like
art. I
dumber
think I
Monty
dig. I
Python.
dig that.
yeah, that's a good way to put it, Bobby. You're right. It's like it's honestly I don't know how to. It's like it's not low brow, but it is.
Yeah.
That's the best way to
No,
describe
it's
it.
low brow, but they were very like careful about how they made it low brow. Like
Yeah.
it's intentionally low brow, which is actually kind of difficult to do.
Yeah, and I kind of want to go back because they've worked on a lot of stuff. They produced a lot of films. Actually, Bob, can you pull this up? The Zucker brothers, their filmography.
Yes.
Because now I'm very interested. Oh, that was a good fucking song.
Let's see. We got
Zucker
fucking
Brothers.
Oh, they did all the scary movies, yeah.
Amazing.
So look, they did Naked Gun, Scary Movie.
Kentucky Fried, Airplane, Top
there it is.
Secret, Naked Guns, High School High Basketball,
Yeah, they produced,
Scary Movies.
and they produced all the scary movies as well. Phone Booth, let's go. Have you guys seen Phone
Yes.
Booth? It's a movie that takes place all in a phone. They did the Onion movie.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes so much sense.
I know for a fact they didn't do the other like
Epic movie?
Yeah, because those were made by like a separate group of people.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I saw a superhero movie. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I actually used to watch all of them.
Oh, I mean, Scary Movie to this day is like, those aren't as good. I'll always support them because they're the, what's it called? The Wayans brothers. And like them within Living Color, it's like they know how to do comedy well. So I give them a break on a lot of the jokes, but a lot of the jokes like didn't age well. You know what I mean? Like even Top Secret, there's like references to like the Watergate scandal, and you're like, what the fuck? That's even at the time, it's like that's 12 years old.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what are we even doing? But like Scary Movie, like I remember one that was like they did like a Nike sports commercial, but in the middle of a movie, and they parodied it. They're like doing like crossover moves, and like we're in a haunted mansion. Like why are we doing a basketball commercial?
I love spoof movies.
Oh man, they're great.
Speaking of spook movies, I was talking to Nicole. Like a lot of my students are like really into like scary games or scary imagery, and they're like, "I've seen this," and I was telling Nicole, what are like horror movies for children that is a good way to introduce them to like scary movies?
Don't ask yourself that question.
No, like
what's a good intro porno? That's literally what you're asking, Joey.
No,
You're like, what's a good
because you
NSF?
can say Monster House is a good like scary movie for children.
I don't even
and that's a
think
good intro.
that's a kid's movie.
No, that's kind of hard.
And then there's
True.
Coraline, which is also like an introduction to a scary movie. That's what I meant. I'm not
Just
like
'cause it's
we gotta
animated,
watch the Texas Naked Bikini Killer Part 7. That's not what I'm gonna show a kid.
I just don't really think horror is something you introduce to children. Even though that being said, all
I
of my
feel like
kids
there's-
just want to make horror movies.
I mean, I
but
feel
at
like
that point, at
there's
middle
a,
school,
there's a
they-
certain age where you're just
I have
kind of like.
preschoolers that know what Squid Games is. I have preschoolers that played the Five Nights at Freddy's and
I feel like
Huggy
Squid
Wuggy
Ga-
series.
I feel like
that horror,
Squid.
though?
I feel like Squid Game would be the intro. Like anything that's like suspense or
Yeah,
like.
Joey, you
suspenseful.
teach pre-K.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 3 years old,
That's 3 and 4, and they watched Squid Games
and they play Five Nights at Freddy's.
and watched Huggy Wuggy and stuff.
That's not. That's a problem. That's an
Yeah, it's
issue.
not good, yeah.
That's not
good.
my problem.
I know that's not your problem, but that's the problem. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that
Like,
doesn't-
Children are like not scared of anything anymore. They're just like, yeah, let's run towards the danger. That should
I
be
like
fun.
that.
you should do the right thing, and you should be a good role model and find something that scares those children. You know?
I should, right? And then I should record their reactions and post it
Exactly.
on the internet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we can all see this as a scientific study of how
Yeah.
like children get scared.
I bet you'll get promoted.
Yeah.
I bet.
No, honestly, what will actually happen is that it'll become like a TikTok. Like we found something to scare children, but then it goes viral, and then everyone sees that TikTok. So then now they're not scared of that anymore.
Oh,
So it's
we
like
gotta
AI
find something
learning.
new to
We
scare.
found something to scare.
But to answer your
children.
Nothing
question,
scares
I feel
children.
like I don't
Every
know. I
voice.
think more so than not, it's not introducing children to horror and introducing children to like
Spooky.
Halloween and like the supernatural and kind of things like that. You know, like I would take the opportunity of like Halloween to introduce, because that shit is already everywhere, and be like ghosts and witches and shit like that. And then from there, you know.
I mean, I just tell my kid none of that. Like, I wouldn't say anything about like God or anything, but I tell them certain things aren't real just early on.
Because you're an asshole. dude.
No, but like, you know, like a horror movie, they're gonna get like the boogeyman. Like they get scared of that shit, and
Nah,
it's like,
I want my
No,
kid to have a
but-
big imagination. Be like, yes, that boogeyman is in your room.
It's in there.
and you know what? If you don't do your homework, he's gonna murder you.
Yeah.
It's like, damn,
And there's
I
nothing
can't stop
Daddy
him.
can do.
right? I'm
I'm
like,
gonna have to make another you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Shit.
That's
the
how
kid
it
I'm
works.
the kid I'm having after.
He's
this.
been
That's
around
how-
for centuries.
That's
He's
how
got a
Krampus
whole
is,
fucking
man.
business
They
going
literally
on.
told these kids, like the Krampus, that like if you don't behave, he's gonna kidnap you and beat you with sticks. Like
That's what happened last time.
that's what happened to the kid
I knocked
next
on the
door.
door. He
Oh,
didn't open.
if you have a fucking mental record, your uncle comes over. Yeah, I remember when that happened. It's like, fuck, bro, that's real. Damn.
Yo, you ready to see these Bills win the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
Dylan?
bro. I'm gonna choke on some food to simulate the real
Choke.
the Bills experience. No, but I'm not even a Bills fan. I got this for free.
All right, look at the camera. Look at that camera right quick. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time. Keep looking, you know.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for Dylan's Super Bowl predictions. All right, Dylan, what are your Super Bowl predictions?
Oh.
Okay. Commercial is gonna be disappointing again. The last few years they've been bad.
Got it.
Real bad
Yeah.
commercials. Do we know who's doing the halftime show?
Rihanna.
Rihanna?
Yes.
I like it. I'm ready for these forehead close-ups.
Are you
That's my a
think
lot of
we're-
forehead.
First real question we got to ask is, are you a rude boy, Dylan?
Boy, yeah.
Is it just her, or
I'm
is it
glad
her
you
and
guys
someone
know the
else?
words to that song. And you guys both totally didn't decide to mumble the words at the same time.
Yeah.
It's
Is it
funny.
someone else, too? Or is it just
Boy, I
Rihanna?
got it.
Give it up.
Always
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know who it'd be. It'd be cool.
Do you
if it's
think
like
they
Rihanna
hate
and
each
A$AP.
other like J-Lo and Shakira?
Who?
J-Lo and Shakira had like such a beautiful Super Bowl halftime show. Like mad like Latinos were like so
Yeah.
happy about it. And then a month later they were like, I'm never working with that puta again. Like I hate this shit. This shit sucked. Like I don't
I
You're like,
you can say what you want, but I've never seen a clear like example of what it means to be Hispanic with another Hispanic person from a different Hispanic country. But you know, that being said, Sucky commercials, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game will be good.
The game will be very good. It's two teams. The problem I realized is that the Eagles have a benefit and they have a disadvantage. Is that they haven't played anyone fucking difficult. Mm-hmm. They've won every single game by a mile all season. They lost one game, and it was when Jalen Hurts wasn't playing. And then they beat the Giants, which is like anyone could beat the Giants, let's be real. And then they beat whatever team it was, the 49ers, who were using their fourth string quarterback.
Yeah.
So they haven't had to actually try.
Yeah.
So if they have to score a lot, that's maybe a concern. But I don't know. Eagles should probably win that shit. I don't think it's
the way it's looking.
The way, like, the only time is if they like actually like underestimate.
Yeah,
and then they might get fucked over.
Woohoo!
So we're saying Dylan's prediction is Eagles are going to take the Super Bowl.
Eagles.
All right.
My
Eagles.
prediction is that everyone's gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Not true.
I'm gonna have a good time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But
Let's all win.
And no other predictions for me.
no. I hope there's a streaker. Probably not a streaker.
not.
Probably
No,
not. They're
I
pretty.
think security's good.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a third Chinese balloon flying over
Yeah.
the Super Bowl stadium.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
wherever
was.
it is.
It's gonna record everything.
Yeah.
They'll be the fucking the Jets, right?
My prediction is gonna be 8 touchdowns.
8 touchdowns.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Let's
of
remember
That's a lot
that.
of touchdowns
In total?
Yeah.
In total.
I'm actually gonna
I'm
say,
down. Let's. You
Mhm.
think 8? 8
I think it's
touchdowns?
8.
Actually, I'm gonna make my biggest prediction right now.
I'm gonna say it's 10.
There's gonna be a scoregami, which I know you guys don't know what that is, but it's essentially when you get a NFL score that hasn't existed ever before.
Mm.
And then like there's a Twitter page that actually tweets out whenever there is a scoregami, because now it's so rare. But if you think about it, if you get like one year the I think it was Seahawks Broncos, there was one, at least for one of the quarters, because there was like a safety to start the game,
Yeah.
which is like that never happens. But I'm caught. There's gonna be a scoregami.
I'm going to guess Matt Ryan has a scoregami under his belt.
Probably. There's like
Yeah,
who was it? I think it's Pete Carroll, the coach of the Seahawks. He has like 9. Like he'll go for it. People think that like he specifically goes for it just so he can like he'll be like take a safety. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
down.
Actually, I'm gonna switch to 5 and 3 field goals.
Bro, if you nail this shit,
That's gonna be
Yeah,
impressive.
that will be impressive. And I'm
Mhm.
going to disagree with Dylan. I think the commercials are going to be good this year.
I really hope so, man.
I hope so.
God made a farmer.
I don't
you
think
know?
we're gonna have the M&Ms again. We're gonna have Maya Rudolph's first M&M.
The more I thought about that, I
Right.
was thinking about that, and I was like, that'd be a perfect thing to do, right? Like a month before the Super Bowl, to re-unveil the M&M characters when the Super Bowl comes out. So the more and more I thought about it, I was like, maybe it was just like a fucking marketing ploy.
Mhm.
So like Maya Rudolph's gonna come out here at M&M's, is that? And then the red M&M's just gonna punch her in the face.
I mean,
and
I
be
think
like, we're
I
back.
think what they really should do is like, hey, Fox News complained about the sexy M&Ms. We made them fucking hotter, and they come out with it. Like that's really what they should do.
It fucking influenced the whole other thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
A&W has like a mascot bear that
Yeah.
doesn't wear pants, and they were like, we've heard the people, and now he's gonna wear pants. And I had like a friend posted on Facebook, and they were like, honestly, I'm not drinking the soda brand anymore. They're just fucking annoying at this point. It's like, bruh, like it's not like he has a bare dick that pops out. It looks like fucking Winnie the Pooh. Like, is Winnie the Pooh gonna start wearing jeans now?
It's like, I just imagine Winnie the Pooh, and it's like they think Winnie the Pooh has on a suit and calls Tigger Tagger. It's like, it's like, hey, hello, Tagger. It's like, what are we doing, guys?
Oh my god.
I remember they introduced the purple M&M, and then immediately it was getting Rule 34, and then they were like, you know what, F this, we're no more M&Ms for you to sexualize.
Was that the transgender one?
Is there a transgender one?
Wasn't there?
There's a purple
Was there?
transgender M&M.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, wait. Well, like,
I don't
There's a
pay that much
purple one,
attention.
and
I don't
she's
even
and,
like them that much.
They are wearing.
Firstly,
like
I was
M&Ms.
thinking about the rapper Eminem being transgender now.
Yeah, they're
right?
transgender now.
But no, what the fuck, man? Like, they don't even have a genitalia.
Well, is there? Introduces first.
Eminem
trans
introduced
character.
purple.
I remember.
Purple.
This.
Yeah,
See, I
it
told
was
you.
the purple.
They're
The
trans?
Purple Eminem is trans.
You didn't
No
know that?
way.
How fucking dare you,
Yeah, I
Joey?
did not know this.
I did not know that the pursuit of happiness.
No.
Will Smith is crying. I need M&Ms.
Eminem is trans apparently.
It's a purple M&M.
So shout out to all those people who sexualized.
I'd smash, you know?
Like actually like crack the cookie.
Man, what have we come to? What have we come
I feel
to?
like they did that to piss off Fox News. You know, they were like, "Hey, yeah, you don't like us, bro?
They got the.
I feel like that'd be like, you need to double down on these such situations. Like if they would have done the Super Bowl halftime show, like have the M&Ms complain about them being like, you take off your shoes, like make it meta. That would like make their campaign skyrocket. Everyone would find it hilarious. Give them abs, like double down on this.
Oh yeah, all the
Give all the guys
They could do that, like
abs.
painted on abs. They could
Just
literally
give
do
them
that.
penises.
Just make 'em
Flaccid
walk-
M&M penises.
Yeah.
They're gonna come out with
It's
like
gonna go great for
spicy
the
M&Ms,
family
like what's,
friendly.
like spicy. What is it? The Sour Patch that they make like all these weird like spicy
Ugh.
sugary candies.
Yeah, jalapeno M&Ms.
Not a vibe.
Not a vibe,
There's
but
some
it'd be a
sh-
funny
There's
commercial.
some shit that just shouldn't be spicy. You know,
Yeah.
like
I
why?
agree.
Hey,
You don't like a spicy marshmallow?
yeah, that sounds horrible. That sounds so bad.
No.
Marshmallows.
Can we
with
look
hot
it up?
sauce.
Any like spicy candy, it's like I didn't sign up for that.
Right.
I did not.
No spice.
I'd literally there's a piece of cinnamon in my mouth.
Is there a spicy marshmallow? I guess so.
Pumpkin spice.
That's pumpkin spice.
What's the first one?
Spicy sweet.
Oh, it has the 3 stars. I believe it.
Marshmallow.
Looks like it's not made in this country.
Look at this one. It's the same bag. Spicy.
Mellow. Spicy and sweet marshmallows.
That's weird.
It's probably cinnamon. Like it's probably like OD cinnamon to make
Big
it
Reds?
spicy.
Yeah, it's not like actually spicy.
It's not like habanero
It's not like a
sauce.
flaming hot marshmallow. Fucking,
Sounds wonderful.
I got to play a game that I wanted to talk about.
Mm.
I wanted to talk about the Spongebob game.
Yo.
It's not a joke. It's actually
Spongebob.
kind of fun.
Spongebob.
I mean, the best thing I could do is kind of just compare it to Battle for Bikini Bottom because it is its spiritual successor. It's made by the people who remade the remaster, so same kind of like mechanics and engine.
They
run this
rehydrated
game.
it, man.
They definitely rehydrated it, but it's a fun game. A lot of people gave it like 5s to 7s. One of the biggest criticisms I heard were people saying that it was a very bare bones game, which I will agree with. There's like maybe like 3 fucking moves that you learn, and there's not really much variety in terms of like gameplay, like what you do. Like the best way I could describe it is, you remember like in Battle for Bikini Bottom, there were like puzzles, and there were like Patrick picks up a fucking watermelon and throws it here, pressure pad. There's like none of that in this game.
I see.
Like this game is literally just platforming, combat, and then looking for collectibles.
But I think they made it easier for children.
I think they just removed a lot of the fill that was in Battle for Bikini Bottom. Like they did, I think they did make some good choices. Like one of the biggest things is that you can only play as SpongeBob, whereas in Bikini Bottom there were 3 playable characters. You could play as Patrick and Sandy, and they fixed that by completely removing the Patrick segment from the game, which I think is a plus because it was kind of like a boring aspect of the game. Like Patrick was fun to play as, but all that fucking like lift here, put that there,
Chuck
place
here.
Oh, that was so like I just imagine. I remember specifically being a kid. There's this one section, I think it's in Goo Lagoon, where you have to throw a watermelon, but there's literally like 4 enemies and a spawner. So then anytime you try to grab the melon, you kill the enemies.
Yeah.
But you need to get the melon to kill the spawner. It's like this whole thing. I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's great, right?
It's stupid.
So they got rid of that, and then they gave SpongeBob like all of Sandy's abilities. So SpongeBob can glide. SpongeBob eventually gets a grapple hook thing. So you know they fixed it in that regards. But yeah, there's not that much fill. The worlds are way bigger.
No
they
fill.
look better. No more shiny objects, which I'm kind of happy about.
Oh yeah, that's
now
not
it's these
necessary.
little jelly orbs. That's my one thing. The game kind of feels like you could be rewarded better. So like the only unlockable in the game are these costumes that have no difference.
It'd
on
be
the
cool if they
playstyle.
did something.
It'd be like or even had like some effect on the gameplay, but no, there's just like 15, 20 just like other extra costumes that you could get with the main collectible in the game. But what is kind of cool is that the last thing I wanted to end up on it is that a lot of the costumes are sick, because what I mentioned to you guys earlier is that this game, The Cosmic Shake, is one of like the best love letters to SpongeBob I have seen, like, period. It's like the people who made it, honestly speaking, the more I think about it, it probably makes sense, because I would assume that a lot of the people who made the game grew up with SpongeBob.
Oh, that makes sense.
They're
Yeah,
probably our
definitely.
age.
That makes sense. They're our age and remember the best episodes.
Yeah, and honestly speaking, while the game does feature some like new stuff from like, seasons of SpongeBob that we haven't really been around for, the vast majority of the game references shit from like the first 4 seasons that we remember. So like,
Has to.
Squidward is painting the Bolden Brash painting. fucking there's a part where you're in Goo Lagoon where you have to help the Flying Dutchman, and when you board his ship, he's like, "Howl with me," and fucking SpongeBob does the woo, and Patrick does the little. So
Do you go through the perfume store?
no, that'd be great.
That would have been
wish.
amazing. That there's like a loading screen of just going through the perfume
But there's
store.
shit like that, which is crazy. Like there's random gags where you'll see it. Oh, I've meant to tell you this. I felt like you'd get the biggest kick out of this. One of my favorite things that they implemented in the game were gross ups. So like the close-ups of the gross-looking characters. So like one of the characters will be like, "I got really sunburned. Can you find my suntan lotion?" And then it goes to a 2D hand-drawn image of like the eyes crusted up and shit like that.
Oh damn, I like that.
So they brought those back, and a lot of people have said that those were some of like the highlights of the original SpongeBob seasons before that guy, I think his name is C.H. Greenblatt, left, who was like the guy who started that. But I love that they implemented it to the game. You'll just have like a random dialogue section, and then it cuts to like fucking a handsome Squidward or some shit like that.
That's funny.
It's really fucking dope. It's just, it emanates the SpongeBob spirit. I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. And it has a 6 speedrun. Pretty dope.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I feel like that's also why they took out some kind of filler stuff, is they wanted to be as like quick and simple as possible.
Yeah.
Is it speed running if the people that make the game make it easy for a speedrunner?
Yeah.
I thought I thought the point of speed running is that you are breaking the game. Like you are finding a way to
broke
get
the shit
through
out of this
something.
fucking game.
Yeah.
But no, what I'm saying is that if the developer purposefully like, all right, now let's just put this here purposefully.
Yeah, I mean, that's
for them
why-
to do with it.
Well, like that's why a lot of games have speedrun trophies.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they were thinking about it. They wouldn't have put that in the game.
And in
if
some
they weren't
cases,
thinking
like in
about it.
Odyssey, they would like legit hide coins in treasure chests and like seemingly inaccessible areas to see if speedrunners could even get to them.
That's impressive. That's like we're gonna see who can get this.
So they didn't put a moon there, but like there's literally sections of Odyssey. You can see it in the speedrun where they'll go out of bounds. You can't see anything. It's just black, and then they'll turn left, and there's just like a stack of coins because they're like, maybe somebody will find this.
Wow.
There's even like sections in the Sand Kingdom and shit like that, where you'll just see like a tower that's literally way too out of distance, but right on top there's like a stack of coins because they probably figured like somebody's gonna figure out how to get there. But they always think about stuff like
That's
that.
funny. That's even taunting people. Like, hey, you want to get that? We don't know how to get that. Let's see if you know how to get that. Go ahead.
Or like, there's a lot of times where like developers will know about an exploit, but then not fix it, or they
just
don't,
find something
or they
new.
don't know how to fix it. Like they're too lazy to debug it, and they're like, if someone finds it, good for them.
Yeah.
Put a coin there.
Or even then, it's like, hey, if you use this ability, you get faster. But I'm not gonna say anything, and then someone later down the line be like, oh, I found this.
Speedrunning, man.
Games.
Yeah.
What is something you're playing now?
What am I playing?
There's
I haven't
playing
played
adult.
anything. Yeah.
Congrats, Jerry.
Yeah.
I got a job.
Cheering and confetti.
Yeah. So I've been just like doing that and getting getting emails and sending emails and stuff.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, lots
sounds
of fun. But I get free stuff, so that's good.
So you were saying earlier you have to get a new computer, right?
Yeah.
Is that you have to buy it or?
No, they're sending me one.
This guy, man.
This guy.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between your two computers, not your two laptops?
I have a 14-inch and they're gonna send me a 16-inch.
Okay, not fucking physically. Like, what are you going to do with both of them?
Oh,
like one's for work.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
once for
hack,
work.
bro.
So
He's gonna hack.
the old laptop that they gave you for the boot camp is just yours now.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I'm just
Well,
imagining.
that's part of like when you pay.
No,
right?
no, I
That's part
know,
of the
but
payment,
I
yeah.
just never understood. Like, so
as the years go by, Jerry's room is just gonna be like monitors everywhere.
It's just he has stacks of MacBooks that increase and decrease in size. It's like that was the first one.
He's like, all right, I just gotta go to work real quick. He puts on like some
bring out another
it's on
computer.
Cerebro from fucking the X-Men.
Oh man.
Breaking.
It's throwback. I was mentioning earlier that I was looking back to see like when I first mentioned it, and it was in episode 35.
Crazy.
episode 35.
Do you have
Yeah.
like a title?
Huh?
Do you have a title?
I do not.
Like what?
I don't think it was
Jerry
mentioned in
the
title.
Jerry.
Can we make up a title? Jerry the Master Coder. Commander Coder.
Whoa.
Master
Commander.
interpreter.
Code
Yeah.
Commander.
What are we
No,
Jerry
Jerry's
the
the interpreter.
quirky coder.
Code Lyoko.
Code Lyoko. Yo, that show.
That show.
That's
is-
what you're gonna be doing, right? For your
Yeah,
job?
bro.
You're gonna
I'm
be
gonna
going in the
freaking-
game.
Yeah.
Please imagine Jerry's
space
fucking
bar and
You're,
the fucking.
you're a fucking hero. You're saving our fucking lives, bro. You know, you die in that game, you die for real. That's
Yeah,
just.
that's a scary fucking game, Jerry.
Yo, I got a fucking
No
weird
wonder
shaped
my-
head and everything.
No wonder
bro.
my man's been training for over a year for this shit.
Oh my God, I get
That's
it
what he's
now.
been doing.
Yeah, fucking, he's gonna be the cat guy.
What's your way?
No, I'm gonna be the guy behind the computer, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Fuck that blonde
No,
kid.
no one gives a shit about him.
Fuck the actual hacker. We want Go Lyoko.
I was like the fat Hispanic kid from Kim Possible that never actually did anything. He was just the guy in the fucking.
I'm gonna do it for you, Kim.
Kim, run! I got you guys.
You're in trouble.
Hey,
Let me check my computer. That's what Jerry's gonna do. Jerry's
what
gonna
Jerry-
assist Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable. Oh man. But
Bullshit.
jokes aside, congratulations. We're
Thank
very
you,
happy
sir.
for you.
Mhm.
It's been a grind.
On to
Yeah.
bigger, better things.
I'm on my grind of internship and final semester of college,
Yes.
and to finish my final semester, I'm taking my internship class in 4 completely bullshit classes.
yeah.
One
that's
of
the
which
best.
is a
So you're in college.
Yeah.
first.
But these are actual, like, I'm up till I have like 140 credits. Like, I'm done essentially, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just doing this till I fill all the
Yeah.
requirements. But one of my classes is a photo and video production course, which I'm very excited about. So I messaged Bobby because I had an assignment. I've been doing this all of college, where I'm just like, I'm gonna use other people's work but make it my own, right?
Yeah.
This has been the key of college.
Yes, sir.
So I messaged Bobby. I was like, Bobby, do you have any like really cool like?
no, that's not what you messaged.
No?
me. Before,
like Shadow?
Let me just explain. Shut the fuck up.
No. That was honestly some of my finest work. It was all me. It was
Because
solo. It was a good job.
Yeah, right.
Wrote it all myself.
So real quick, fucking. I'll let Dylan say the meat and the potatoes of the conversation, but you have to understand the way Dylan started the conversation confused the shit out of me.
Yeah,
Because I'm
yeah.
just sitting at work,
Yeah.
just like hanging out with the kids, teaching them, and he's like, "Hey Bobby, do you have any cool photos specifically that use like technical framing?" That's all he asks. So I'm like, what do you mean? Like photos of what? And he's like, of anything. Cool sunset, nice position of something. And then I'm like, LMAO, is this for class? And then I just sent him this. I got this one.
Which I wanted.
for
I
it.
wanted more of that. Like, I really thought Bobby was gonna hit me with like nudity and like all this crazy shit.
He wanted to see more naked men.
Yeah, I wanted to see
Bobby.
Brian Griffin.
Damn, that's the new wave. Yo, Bobby, I need a picture.
Bobby,
That's
No,
the
yeah,
first
because
shit.
I was gonna at the end of the sentence, it's gonna be like, you were one of 2 people at this podcast to ask me for fucking random pictures this week. But go ahead. I
Timing.
gotta-
Yeah,
I gotta
so
jump on
Bobby sends me a collection of like 4 or 5 different photos that are really beautifully taken, right? So I look at them and I'm like, which one I like? Which one would my professor like? So I find one that is a beautiful photo on Atlantic Avenue of like a staircase. I believe it's in like the shopping center over there. And I took the photo, downloaded it, right?
Okay. I
Drag
think
it.
you put a black and white tint on it.
I put a noir. It's called the noir filter on Windows. Edit a little bit like vignette so the clouds are a little bit of color. Best photo in the fucking class. Everyone wanted to go early on. I had one guy in my class who literally just used a Snapchat filter photo. Like it was a photo of like the city and it said fucking Monday on it. And my professor's like, Brian, this is really good, but I don't think Monday makes it. He's like, yeah, but I think it made it abstract. And she's like, no, it's not. It's not.
It's not abstract.
So what did they say about this picture?
Yeah, so immediately I go on and she like made like an audible like, oh, you know? And right away I was like, oh, damn.
Let's go, Bobby.
So the entire class was like, she was thinking way too in depth about stuff that really wasn't that nice. But now this is like an actual really nice photo. And I was like thinking about it. I'm like, what can I say about the photo? I made up some shit about how I was like upstate with you and like how like that's where we took it because there was like snow on the ground. And I was supposed to take that photo this week and this has snowed mad fucking long. But I know it snowed somewhere else though. And then I was like, yeah, you know, it's like forced perspective, you know, because you're like at the bottom of the staircase.
Bullshitter.
And as you go up, it like looks like it gets narrower. And then she started going on about like this 10-minute thing about like what the photo meant. Right?
Bobby's about to pull this shit up.
So, and
This
she
is
was,
symbolism.
yeah, so she was like,
for
she was
something.
like, if you look, the stairs, there's like 100 of them. And it goes all the way up to nothing. Is that what you're trying to say, Dylan? That the pathways lead to nothing? And I'm like, yeah, it does.
It does.
It's existential because it doesn't mean
does.
anything. And she's like, it's not only because I said it was like spooky, like eerie aesthetic. She's like, it's not just that, it's horrifying. And I'm like, damn, I really
Bobby, what is this picture?
this.
It's hard.
Yeah,
I can
hard.
see where she said
She
it.
was
It
like,
is.
oh, she was like,
St. Liz's.
Oh
yeah,
shit! I
she was
see a
like-
face.
She was like, this staircase staircase leads to nothing at all.
So for,
Darkness.
I have a couple of things I want to say.
I see a
about
face.
this. Number one, when Dylan was saying that, I was genuinely laughing, like having all good and fun. And then at some point in that conversation, a very small nerve snapped in the back of my brain, and I was like, "This motherfucker!" I was like, literally just took this on a walk to my uncle's house, and I don't even get credit for this shit. I didn't even think about any of that fucking descent into nowhere.
Yeah, no, because the thing is that we had to use like a technique from our textbook.
Yeah.
That was like the whole part of the assignment. So everyone is like, I tried doing the Fibonacci sequence, you know, like everyone's trying to do like the rule of thirds and golden triangle, all of these technical shits. But then I saw one about lines, and I'm like, the lines, like that's
the
it.
lines.
That's
the
it.
second thing is I don't really like what you did with my picture. I don't like that it's in black and white. That was a creative choice that I made. I even went to the fucking... I color graded it and everything.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. Well, that actually, she gave me extra credit because I said I edited the photo. Because I said that the wall was really bright on the left, and I wanted, and I feel like it made it made it too like it clashed. And she said, yeah, it did clash, and it made it too. It was like,
did you take the fucking picture, Dylan? Was it your decision to make? But anyway, yes.
I want to see it again because I legit saw a face,
These
and I
are
want
some of my highlights I sent Dylan.
Oh, this
I like the
nice.
fence one. This one was the nice. I like this one a lot.
that one's pretty. It looks like
Yeah.
Christmas lights.
Fucking my staircase to nowhere.
This one is nice.
That's a good. You should have showed your professor that one.
You should have posted that one. Been like, that's my dad.
it's mad funny because I had to pick that one because all of the photos were like Central Park and like the city. It would have been mad funny if I just had a photo of Bobby's dad.
It's my dad.
Nice.
Brian Griffin.
No, that
Nice.
I could see where your professor was coming from. If you want to think of the artsy fartsy.
And now
sense.
I have to really step
Oh
up.
yeah, and the
I have
third
to-
thing is
I have to step up.
Dylan, what's this fucking thing you've got where you just take my work and then get graded on it?
Yeah.
Has this happened before?
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally.
Shut the fuck up. I'll tell the fucking story.
I feel like we told this one.
I'll tell it again.
Yeah.
We're gonna tell the story 8 more times before this podcast is over. I promise you that, because I'm still upset about this. Fucking our film teacher, shout out to Mr. McKenna. We had this fucking thing where we either had to write like an 8-page paper or we could make a short film.
Yes.
And I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah, word.
So he basically had this prerequisite where you had to make a short film
Or you had to show us.
something. You had to basically show him you had the capabilities to do it, that you weren't just going to hand in some fucking bullshit, right?
Okay.
So that's where Shadow comes from, which we've explained on the podcast is a stupid short film we pooped out in about fucking 5 hours.
Very good for the 5 hours we spent on it.
Say whatever the fuck you
It was
want.
good,
I'll
yeah.
hold my own opinions for
Bob,
whatever.
wait, Bob. So if you don't even think Shadow is good, why are you mad that I stole it? Can we get to that maybe?
Yes,
Wait,
that's
you
where I'm
stole
po-
Shadow?
Yeah. So
to get to that, I have to explain
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking thing you stole in the first place,
Yeah.
idiot.
Mhm.
So anyways, we make this fucking movie, the Shadow thing, and at the end of it, co-directed by Bobby and Dylan, blah, blah, blah. We give it to Mr. McKenna. He loves it. He likes it. But he's like, listen, if you're going to go forward with it, you guys need to make separate projects. You can't make a co-project. It has to be 2 separate films. So I was like, all right, whatever. I write this whole fucking thing it's like a stupid short film with Jose and Jessica in it.
Oh yeah,
Where
that was
Jose
nice.
goes in
It
like
was-
loops
I
in his
remember that.
life,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
something happens where he forgets his briefcase at home. So he has to run back and get his briefcase, and it sets off all like the chain of events. And then because of that, he ends up meeting the Jessica female character, and his life ends up getting better and stuff
this.
like that. So I was like, all right, cool. We filmed it, I edited it, submitted it in. Dylan wrote a very, very complex script where Joey loses a cat.
Oh yeah, it was originally a dog, and he said a dog would be hard to do. That was
Yeah.
originally what he said. Yeah.
And then I remember there were some whole like meta things where like the dog wasn't even real at
Yeah,
some point.
nothing was real. At the end, it was like the entire twist was like everything wasn't real. So it was basically Shadow again.
It was like
but,
Dylan getting real fucking existential with this shit.
Yeah.
We filmed maybe 20 minutes of it before we realized we were not gonna make it
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
Dylan waited until like 2 days before
Yeah,
the
it
fucking
wasn't gonna
date
happen.
for it to come, and I was supposed to edit it and all this shit.
Yeah.
So it was a last ditch effort. I was like, I'll give you Shadow, and you can fucking send it in again. Not only did Dylan successfully submit this fucking short film a second time, and Mr. McKenna was like, yeah, it's great.
It's really
And he
good.
fucking graded it. He graded it higher than the movie that I made when I made both movies originally by myself.
One movie.
Both movies. But I got like a fucking 85. He only got a 90.
Yeah, I got like a
So as
92.
far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, I got those numbers added, which I can't do off the top of my head. I got 175 points out of 200. So Dylan can suck my dick. And next time you need pictures, let me know. I got it.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Bobby. I'll make sure once I'm done with my class, I'll make sure I'll be like, oh wait, by the way, none of this work was my own.
Yeah, right.
I have to give
Remember
credit
that
to my boy.
staircase picture? And take it, bitch.
Yeah, do you have a picture of the ocean? Because next theme for my school is water, so I need to show them a nice picture of the water.
Bobby, if you want, I could take some occult pictures of like gravestones and shit, so you can introduce your children to horror. Yeah.
Bobby's really taking a beating this up. Bobby's found out he's fucking Getty Images. Like, Bobby's like, okay, I guess I'm at the photo factory.
The photo factory.
Yeah, Bobby Photo Factory Rosario.
Man. On phones, you gotta go, hey Bobby, open up a picture of this.
And real quick, just before the episode ends, spent a lot of time with family over the past couple of days because we had a loss in the family, which is kind of funny because he wasn't family, but he was. You know what I mean? We had our childhood neighborhood priest pass away, so this episode is informally dedicated to Father Frank. Without Father Frank, my parents would never have met. I probably would never have been made. And all of the people that I call my uncles and aunts, which you three like know very, very heavily.
Very closely, yes.
Very closely.
Second family vibes.
They would never have met. Like, this guy was single-handedly the one who came to this church in like the 60s and 70s, and he literally was like, all right, all of the youth, which back then was predominantly Hispanic, he's like, I'm going to take them in, and we're going to fucking make these musical shows, and it's going to keep them off the streets, it's going to keep them out of gangs, and it fucking worked. They all ended up marrying each other. I call them my uncles and aunts. I call their kids like my pseudo cousins, and
they are.
Without him, I wouldn't have had anything.
Shoutouts to him, man.
And for what it's worth, honestly, like, don't get me wrong, it was obviously a really, really sad time. It was even harder having to watch like my parents go through that, especially my dad, who considered him like his pseudo father. It was kind of like losing the grandpa I never had. What I guess I did kind of have one, but what was really cool is that despite like the bitterness of it, the sweetness of it was so much more. Like, the amount of people I reconnected with that I hadn't seen in like over 15 years. Fucking getting to see people fly out from Florida, my uncles that I barely ever get to see. And then not only that, my parents' anniversary is today. So we used the opportunity yesterday to just have like 40 people over at the house. It was like a whole fucking pseudo party that we threw. Shout out to all the pseudos I threw out. It was a really great time. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to honor Father Frank, to say thank you for everything that I have, and to say thank you to my family because I love them a bunch.
Yo, man. Yeah. I really like the photos you have up there of like all the cast members, your families, your aunts and uncles, and it's like this grainy because you know it's an old photo. Yeah. And it low-key looks like it belongs in like a museum. Like,
yeah, we took them off the walls with us to use it like at the services so that we could put them out on stands for people to like walk around and see.
They're really pretty. It showcases like Latino theater.
I even went up to the attic and I dusted off the.
That'd make it killing in like Williamsburg, like a little like
Museo del Barrio, Williamsburg.
Remember the fucking director's chair I used to have? That it was Father Frank's. We dusted it off and we put it out there too as like a tribute to him. And I remember people were like telling me about it. They were like, "That's yours, right?" And I was like, the amount of joints I've smoked in that fucking chair. Straight up. There's like holes in it too. One of my cousins was like, I can fucking tell, dog. I was like, yeah, man, it's been through some shit.
Yeah.
So thank you, Father.
We all had struggles, but you know, we get through them.
No. Sure. Yeah. Word. Oh, just to bring up one last, oh my God. I had such funny fucking conversations with people. I had one conversation with my friend Stranger. I asked him how his daughter was doing, and he's like, she's being a bitch. It made me laugh. Like, it caught me off guard. I started laughing, and then my mom came up behind him to say hi, and he's like, speaking of bitches, hey, Didi, and he like hugged her. And she was like, what did I just walk into? And I just started crying. But the funny thing is I had a friend who had a kid, and I hadn't seen this guy in like 6 years. So I asked him, I was like, how's your kid? He's like, he's 4, he's good. He just learned how to wipe his ass. Yeah. But I don't understand. He does it, and he's like, Daddy. And I'm like, all right, motherfucker, you don't have to show me every time you wipe your ass. Just put it back in the toilet. And then he goes on and he's like, and he stands up straight when he does it. Like, he doesn't even sit. Like, he gets up, legs completely straight, and then like swipes up. And I'm like, no, Papa, you gotta like bend down a bit. And he's like, no, I want to do it like this. And I'm like, bro, fucking these kids got it.
I also did it like that. What a homie.
Did you?
For
stand up straight.
For a while, I like to this day, I've done it. I did it like one time. Like I had like diarrhea, and I got up, and I was like, what hey, what am I doing? You know, I
can't look at you the same way.
I get up now. I still like get up a little bit. Like I don't wipe while sitting.
What's this segment called?
How we wipe.
Yeah.
Yo, can I actually? I told Jose this once.
What a segue! What?
I told Jose this once, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And then I asked my mom, and she's like, "That's how she did it." My grandma Adela, my mom's mom, when I was really small, like 4 years old, she used to wipe me, but with her hand. Yeah, I know. So she would take a cup of water and she would run it, and she would just like shh like that, and then she would just like clean it and stuff like that. And then but that's like some
That's
lost.
some Campo shit.
That's some
Yeah,
like
word.
lost memory I forgot, and I told Jose, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Da-da-da. And then I brought it to my mom, and I was like, "Mom, did Grandma used to like wipe my ass with her hand?" And she's like, "That's how she did it for me too when I was a little kid. That's how they did it out there." And I was like, "All right," just wanted to make sure I was not forgetting that. I was like,
Just want to make sure that didn't
Can you show me a
happen.
demonstration? Like, what are the dynamics we're working with here?
yeah, bend over.
Yeah.
But it is officially time for
But-
jam and yam.
But
Music.
But I don't have one
I have a lot of songs. I never picked one though.
preset. I didn't really do a lot of music listening this week,
Mm.
but I do have stuff, I guess.
Mm.
Oh, I actually do have one. What am I talking about? I'll go right now. Jam of the week, easy. It's Boondock by NotNevi and Gao the Arsonist. It's just a cool ass song with a cooler beat, and that's that.
You sure it's cool? Yeah, it's cool.
Sounds pretty cool.
I got a pretty cool song.
Yeah.
A pretty cool song is called Beamin' by Cousin Stiz.
Ooh,
That's a
damn.
cool ass. Both of
Yeah.
those names are cool.
That's a pretty
That's
fucking
not
cool
bad.
song.
Oh, what? That's you.
Thank you, Freddie Dredd.
Yeah.
I went dancing with my girlfriend because it's gonna be about a year since.
Look at this
I met
fucking
her.
loser.
This guy went dancing with his girlfriend.
The song that I'm choosing is from the bar, The Cure. Boys Don't Cry.
That's a good song.
This is the bar I went to.
Honestly, like before we go on, how many Cure
A lot of curious.
slams have you had? It's got to be like at least 4, right?
No, there was one for this volume, and let me go back to volume 1.
You had a Cure song like 3 days, like 3 fucking episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It was from a game you were playing.
No.
Oh, no, that
that's
was,
that's Joy Division.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, rocks.
Go fuck yourself. I bet it's still 4.
Yeah, it probably is.
I have.
While he's looking up, go ahead.
Oh yeah, my Yam of the week is a song that I forgot existed. It's a Band from TV by Lil Uzi Vert, off of Love Is Rage 1, where he didn't know how to make music, but it's like a beat with like a drum line like horn, but it's very obviously a synthesizer, and it's catchy as fuck.
Got you.
Yeah, mega song.
It's 2.
2? It's 4. So, thanks for watching the Joystick Show. It was a fun one. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to Team Joystick.
Or else.
Equipo del Joystick. Where we make content for your viewing pleasure, just like this Joystick Show. Just like this episode 127. Is there any, oh, we should have done like a 127 hours themed episode where we cut off our arms, that'd have been fun.
Bobby gets stuck in the couch.
Yeah, that actually happened to my dad earlier, but I'm not going to go into another segue, and that would have been way too realistic. Regardless, I'd be really grateful if you could subscribe to us, if you could like this episode of The Joystick Show, and hang out with your boys every Wednesday here. We got some cool stuff coming up, and besides that, anybody else got something to share? I mean, Dylan and I will be catching you at DR in about a month, but
sick.
it's gonna be fun. But
Yeah, so down below in the description we have a GoFundMe for a 50-foot trampoline for the Dominican Republic. We got some big ideas.
like to take it there, or
No, it's gonna be there.
oh,
We're gonna land. It'll be there.
When we're
We're gonna see it from the airport. That's how big it
we're
is.
gonna jump off the plane
Yeah.
onto the.
That's
yeah,
big.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Boing.